Ball game, Daniel. Ball game. Ball game. Out and stunting again on Monday evening, Memorial Day, holiday, me could there so right now. But yeah, what going on in the I say Cali time, Monday evening, I touch up in the dust up and still bright sunshine out the door.
Let's say evening, heading to 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Sun still bright outside. And it is dark over there, right?
Nah man, sun still a shine at 7:15, sun still a shine, man.
Yeah, I
Nah,
think since the time
time
of
change.
change,
Yeah.
summertime, the sun normally spend out a little bit longer, but yeah, still bright outside.
Me don't know why me always feel like on the West Coast get a longer daylight than on the East Coast. I don't know.
Honestly, I feel so. I feel so because
He's a man live on both sides.
I live on both sides, so I could tell you. I feel like the sun over here is still longer. I don't know why, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, 7:15. Look, and Ramsey ball game, let away a drop today. And hopefully we can drop one 6 love tonight. But 7:15 new, bro. Look, this is not our usual time, but because the space want some more ball game. You understand? The floor open up a whole heap a little vacant scrimmage field that open up. So we just slot in and we have a roll later tonight. I would just have to talk some football, bro. You understand? But Memorial Day, that's why, Daniel at work, today, as we just said just a while ago that, with a man him live on the West Coast, his time right now is what 4 quarter past 4 now, Cali time. Normally them time I get off of work long time ago, them time and Daniel just I take him lunch break. So it's crazy sometimes, to do video, the time range, we have to make it up. Then man have to get up at 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning for watch early morning kickoff, with Premier League. But feels strange, it's been a while, we know we do some Monday podcast before, but it's been a while, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think some holiday before. Yeah, I think whenever there's a holiday, we always try to fill in extra show.
Yeah.
But yeah, people you can't complain. We are do the work.
Hold on.
But
What is this? Orlando King, bro. All this is BS caused by Uno. Uno, like what? Are the bucket way off
who?
by your DPY?
Where you mean Uno?
Me don't know.
Where you
Me
mean
don't
Uno?
know. Me don't know what you talk about,
Fix up
bro.
your talk in Orlando King. Fix
Yeah,
up.
bad boy King. Me don't know what you talk about, bro. You understand? We don't know what you talk about. What you talk about. What you mean? You never want Ravel at the team? At that one? Me know. Don't tell me say that thing. You never want Ravel Morrison in the team? Everybody deserve a fair chance, man. Everybody deserve a second chance. Yo, DNA football. Watch it now. Link up on Instagram and get the link, brother, and come talk some Trinidad football today. Cause more I know about them young youth that will come through the Trinidad ranks. You understand? More I know about some of them young youth that will come through the Trinidad ranks. But link me in up on Instagram, Nikada Medios, and just get the link and forward. And me I tell you from winning, brother. Me I try get your connection, so we can do some live. You understand? But if you're available right now, just link up on Instagram and you get the link for the video and you forward that. Cause I want to know what I go on in the Soca Warriors because he say this, Daniel. He said the man them confident, like the man them confident as ever. You understand, bro? The man them confident as ever forget the reggae boy 3 points tomorrow.
I mean, they can be all confident. They can they can be confident regardless. You get what I'm saying? They can be confident all they want, but the ball when the ball drop on the field, we will see. But yeah,
Watching the DNA, we got Orlando King. Watching, we got drop the link and you can have your say. We're not going to put you, we're not going to put you on the video. Don't know, respect people, identity. So, you can be that anonymous one with your voice alone, heard on the show. Same thing with Danny as well. Want to know what really are going with the Trini. Yesterday, the Trini, the boys, they are so confident, going forward, especially in their two World Cup qualifier games that's coming up versus St. Kitts and Costa Rica. They are second in that table. I think a win away will qualify them for the last round. If I'm mistaken, a win away with result go their way as well. You understand? But um, look, Orlando, we're going to drop the link, and as soon as we get in at it, we're gonna make you roll in and have your say as well. You understand? But let me get the link from. No, just give me a second. Just give me a second. Let me get the link. Um, Look, you know, big up my mother on the line. You understand? Nicola Sibilis herself.
One, two, Nikki.
Big up my mother. Supporter one boy.
Nikki, always a support in it.
Yeah,
Always
man.
there. Nicole.
Yeah, man. Always there, man. People,
People,
I'm just
people,
send the link.
remember, we're streaming on both platform.
Yes.
Nikada Media House and Daniel Football Show. Don't forget smash a like on the video. You're new to the channel, you're new to the stream. Don't forget smash a like, subscribe to both channel, and very much appreciate. Don't forget.
So the link is there, so when we get into the discussion, we can, you know, you can have your say as well. But Daniel, we see a video where Steve McKernan said the Jamaican player them cold in England. The man them have chills and it's summer. What is going on, man? Man them
The
local player
the
them.
local players.
Yes.
I mean, it's still kind of cold in England.
Come on, Daniel. Come on, man. Come
Yeah,
on.
man. No, I feel
It's overcast still, It's overcast still.
you can't. A man we live in America for such a long time, and then compare a man we just leave Jamaica or warm and go straight now cold weather. It's gonna be cold. You get me? It's gonna be cold. So I think you have to understand the man when I leave the island on a regular, and then But I think once them start to play and them start to warm up, I think they should be adjust to it. But some would say the same thing will be. Some would say the same thing. The African players, the Trinidad players, they probably want to be maybe saying the same. Or Africa is hot too. Trinidad is hot too. So let's see.
Yeah. But hopefully the player them can shake off that jet lag. Hopefully, it's a long journey. Wherever you're in the world, to go to London. You understand? But hope for the best tomorrow. Hope the players are ready. It's a big day tomorrow at the GTEC Stadium versus Trinidad and Tobago.
Where's the match gonna be streaming?
Yeah. The YouTube page, Jamaica Football Federation.
Okay.
Hopefully the stream really good. Hopefully it's good. You understand? Hopefully the stream really good tomorrow. But let me I did pin that in the comment section. But all right, Daniel, we don't have much time. As I say, we pick a local slot and scrimmage field was vacant. So we'll drop right in it and local players, obviously Sule Makala, the latest one, and Javanis is out, and Busy Atkinson, Cavalier number 10 is out. Rudolph Speed run the man, tire them to wreck. Understand? I think Rudolph Speed need to get I think Rudolph Speed need to get a sponsorship for Busy, a Yokohama sponsorship, so the man can get some brand new tire, pan him wheels. You understand? But Daniel, local players, tomorrow should be a big day. It's probably touching midnight now in England. Players thinking about tomorrow. Remember going to a crucial game. Even year level playing Manning Cup. Some of the things that going to a big game. overnight, in your bed, midnight, can't sleep. Some of the things that run through your mind.
I think especially if it's gonna be for the first season, you want to stay healthy.
Yeah,
I think I'm more talking about more like the local players that
yeah,
never
yeah. That's
capped
what I'm talking
before.
about. Local players.
You know, I think you just want to stay healthy. Get some rest.
Hmm.
You're so eager for the next day to come to play the game. You get what I'm saying? But especially playing this game overseas as well.
Yeah,
New environment. What more exciting can be. Um, Brentford Field. New
smooth,
the
smooth,
grass
smooth,
smooth.
smooth, smooth.
Compare it to what you've been. This like a dream come true. You get what I'm saying? So there's nothing more you can wish for as a player playing your first time for your country, representing your country
Yeah,
overseas. So as player, they should be really really excited. You know.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Always a big every time when there's a big game, the night before, it's like it's so anxious, can't sleep. I remember when the day playing calls for Calabar and going back to Anthony Sparring Sports Complex, to play Charlie Smith, and I just couldn't sleep the night. I just couldn't see. I was so anxious the night that I was drinking water till my belly swell. You remember them thing the coach always say, drink water till the belly swell because 2 o'clock kick after gonna be sun hot blazing,
Yeah.
to hydrate that body. But you know, hopefully, the things can go real right tomorrow as well. But I want to tell you, Daniel, last night when we come off a ball pre TV and me do a video and then me kind of chill at the same spot. Yes, so me I chill and me and my son there, son. Watch me edit the video and in there so upon the MacBook and I watch some cartoon and me only say three message came in and message were about Ravel, Ravel, Ravel. I'm like, what is this all about, Ravel? Then the fourth one came in. I was like, Ravel is on his way, to England at the moment. I'm like, what? Then so I went on social media. Then I see, our Fabrizio Romano said that, so that he will be there, big up the BAM Sports as well. But I mean, when you got the news, when you wake up, man, what was that first thought though? Initially, first thought thinking about Ravel.
The first start I thought about the podcast that we have yesterday. And I was like, I wonder if Steve McLean I watch the podcast secretly because there's no way this makes sense, after we were saying that the disappointed didn't call up Ravel and then to wake up seeing the news, it was like, wait, how
Yeah,
on? You get what I'm saying? So
yeah,
um, it's a good news, as I say, it's a very positive news. And then seeing that Mikel Antonio get called up as well. You get what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Training with
But
the team. Yeah,
yeah, I just think it's a positive news. There's no way to take it, as I said. Ravel brings something a little bit different
yeah,
from what we already have already, a little bit more creativity, something out of the box, someone to try something different, make risks. You get what I'm saying? So maybe the coach hear the fans and say, you know what?
you gonna cry out.
Yeah, carry out, but there's no way to take it. I think it's a very positive way. And I've never seen a decision that like all of the fan base kind of agree with.
Together.
Yeah.
That's
You
all.
get
That's
what I'm
all. We
saying?
can be powerful. Just come together and do something. It
Yeah.
can work. But my big thing now, Daniel, with this whole Unity Cup thing, especially playing in London, playing in a climate, where it's going to be a little bit chilly, it's going to be overcast, it's always a little bit windy at the GTEC. I've always hear commentator talk about the wind at Brentford Stadium. But the players that, the Greg Lay, the Amari Bell, the old Gate, Casey, Isaac, John Russell, all these players, that in the squad as well. I'm expecting these UK based players, including Kyle Dixon, to be the leader, the main stake for this squad, moving forward. I want to see, a lot of, one second now. I want to see, a lot of leadership, especially coming from the back, from Oldgate. I want to see
Literally.
Oldgate, I want to see Oldgate lead from the back, use his experience, pass down his knowledge. These things like the win is a big factor at can play in a football game. Like if you go to a venue for the first time, you want to know where the wind is blowing. What will happen when it get a little bit darker. You're under the lights now. You understand? Daylight saving time in England, it's crazy like where you live right on the West Coast. You know, I want to see everything. I want to see Mason Holgate do a lot of talking at the back. I want to see, the UK based players take the game up in them and bring the game to the opposition team. Let the players that don't use to, this type of atmosphere in England, this type of stadium, don't let them be the one to lead. Let them be the one that to follow the leaders in the team. I don't even know who are gonna be the captain tomorrow, to be honest, because there's no Blakey, there's no Nana, and maybe if you ask me,
Isaac
probably
Aiden,
yeah, probably Isaac Hayden will be that captain tomorrow. He's the one that I was thinking about.
maybe King. I think King does have some
Yeah,
quality of leadership, and
yeah, yeah.
he been in the national team. You get me? So, and about Antonio, if Antonio gonna start, I think
I don't
Antonio
even.
could be the one.
Yeah, I don't even know if Antonio will
If
be.
he's gonna
Yeah,
if
I
he's
don't
gonna be
even know.
available.
But
Yeah.
I don't think there's no way Antonio going to start tomorrow. There's no way he should be starting tomorrow. Tomorrow is not for Antonio to start. Tomorrow is for Warner Brown to start. You understand? So more if you see the leadership from the UK based players, let the players see that and follow. Set the trend on the football field. You
Yeah.
understand? It's a look. I don't see this game. We love football. Trinidad is a big rival to us. I don't like to lose against Trinidad. The other day when Trinidad buck out with it, I think many of you done on it yard. Me hate lose against Trinidad. They are our rival in the Caribbean. You understand, bro? Me not like
Yeah.
lose against them. And to listen to the press conference of the White Yak and listen to the press conference of
Steve McCarron.
Steve McLaren, I don't get that rival in the ear. I get more of a friendship from both coaches, knowing each other. You understand? Work with each other. The White said when he was going to coaching, he asked Steve McLaren, for a little clarification on what it is and more in depth of the job. He work under him, as a manager as well, assistant manager with Manchester United. So I get more of a personal friendship. I don't get that dark horse that endeavor like, yo, I don't want you to beat my team tomorrow. But when I listen to Shelly, the Nigerian coach, when I listen to Otto Addo, the Ghanaian national team coach, I get that rival, I get that sense of belief that there will be a fight on that football pitch
Yeah.
against the Jollof Derby. You understand?
Yeah.
So I think we are the two best team in the Caribbean, alongside 80. I know 80 is right up there, but between us, in terms of entertainment, even with Carifta in athletics, we and Trinidad are big rival. In terms of food, you understand, brother?
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know what you think, about what I'm saying.
I think personally I don't think they might not, maybe they don't really, maybe both. I don't know if the coach, I don't know if the players them see Trinidad as a rival, but
Yeah.
I do not expect Steve McCarron to understand. I don't expect him to understand because he just came in, he doesn't know the history, unless he do his search. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he know the history between Jamaica
Trinidad.
and Trinidad. I think York is more like
Yeah,
maybe when the game start, York was like, we want to win this, but because he already have a relationship with Steve McLaren, it's gonna be friendly there. But once the game starts, it's a different thing. I don't think Steve McLaren have the same desire as how York might have because he
yeah.
does not know the history between Jamaica and and Trinidad. So maybe that's why. But people from Africa know the history between Nigeria and
Nigeria.
Ghana.
He said they're more of a deeper root in
Yes,
football.
yes, they have a history, and I think they have a history of the field with their culture and etc. and etc. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I just think that personally, when I hear Steve McLaren talk, I just don't think he understands a lot of stuff. That's why, and I wish he would do a lot more research. You get what I'm saying?
hmm
But I just don't think he know the history. But as I said, I want to see the experience and the leadership from the
UK based
especially
player.
the UK based player, especially know that the game will be playing over there, and I expect there should be a lot of support for Jamaica, because
Yeah,
there's a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
Jamaican fans over
Yeah,
there
and
too.
that
So
especially in London. The game is in London, so
yeah, so I expect the game should be have a lot of Jamaican fans there too.
and Trini, there's a lot of Caribbean people there. People from
Yeah,
all over the UK will be coming. Even if you up in Manchester, you know that look the game tomorrow. You make sure you find a way down south in London to watch that game. So let me. The reason why I said all of that, Daniel. This all right. So listen to how the Ghanaian manager start out in his press conference.
Yeah, I think everyone knows what it's about. It's a friendly game, but it's not really a friendly game. So yeah, we know what it's about, and we want our people to be proud of us, and we want our people to talk from a certain perspective. And surely, it's always about who has the better team, and sometimes margins can decide the outcome of the game. I think normally, to be honest, we are on the same level. But yeah, we're hoping that we will win. We're hoping that we'll be successful. It's going to be tough, but I'm sure we can do it.
You get that sense of the questions were a lot different for the Ghanaian coach and the Nigerian coach, than when Dwight York and Steve McLaren doing their press conference.
yeah,
As we say, we know the history between these two teams. It's coming back from way, way, way back then. They just don't like each other. It doesn't matter what sport it is. Even food, them contesting just like us with Trinidad. So I
yeah,
guess it more of the belief, the religion of how they support their national team. You understand? And I know you see that game going to be massive. That game, don't be surprised it's a full house.
yeah. I think I was just gonna say that the Nigeria game will be stuck to because if you know about Nigeria and Ghanaians, there's a lots of them in England, so I expect that game to be sell out too. I'm on Twitter and I see or they talk to one another on Twitter, so I can tell you that game is gonna be.
There's no friendship between them when
There's
you
no
watch
friendship,
that
and
game.
they always. I think don't think Nigeria make it to the last two World Cup, and the Guyanese and always a
Ghana.
lot.
Look,
Yeah,
these two teams are the toughest team, but I think probably if you talk about the potential, I think Ghana have some great potential in that team. You understand? I think they have a very very good team. But if you ask me, I can't even tell you which team will win. You understand? But I wish the build up and how the Jollof Derby was carried. I wish it was just between the Reggae Boys and the Soca Warriors, the build up, because it is growing up watching Tapper in his prime in the early 2000s just started to support Reggae Boy football. It was that feeling. You understand? It was that feeling. So let's hope when the whistle blow tomorrow and the
yeah,
game start, hopefully we can see a little bit of nastiness in the football pitch. As he said, he know it's a friendly, but they want to win. So they're treating the game as like a competitive game. Obviously, Ghana have no more international games in the next window coming up. So this is their international window. Nigeria have another game that they will play in Moscow versus Russia. I think Adama Lukman and Osimhen already pulled out of both squad. They will not be here, as you know, in the Unity Cup and also in the friendly versus Russia. So the build-up is way high. I guess it's the teams, they are just bigger. You understand? Anything else you want to say before we move on?
No, I think you have covered everything so far. No.
Yeah. But as we're looking into the game, the midfield, that's one of the key point. We want to see something different from that team that played St. Vincent. We're going to play Trinidad for the third time. You understand? Steve McCarron played them a few times in our friendly. We didn't win. We draw and lose one. You understand? But the midfield between Isaac, a lot of players will be displaying their talent, especially like you say, maybe like Casey Palmer. These games are like maybe a mid-trial for them because they just didn't do nothing for their club. Isaac Hayden, for him, he'd probably do okay. Play 17 games for Portsmouth and start around 12. Get back his match fitness. Talk about how he happy for the opportunity. But it's international time. It's for the black, green, and gold. So he want this experience. He want these minutes under his belt. To continue his comeback from that long haul of not playing any first team football. He will definitely be looking for a new club. Eddie had already told us that a few years about this guy have no future. He have 1 more year left back on his contract. I don't know if he's going to close him behind him and collect him 50K a week and said, okay, that's it, and then walk into the World Cup. We don't want that. But he's the next one that, is important. We have a couple of players that these games are important for them, especially Isaac Hayden, Casey Palmer, who he say, look, was signed by Hull City in summer as a designated player, someone that to be that mainstay in the midfield, but it just didn't work. Your words on these two fellas. One looking for a club and the next one try to regain back some farm.
Yeah, I think Casey Palmer really needs some good performance for the upcoming games because I'm not. Me and Casey Palmer. I've been saying it. You've been defending me, and you say
no, we can't defend no more.
He yet to give me a good performance for Jamaica, but these free paper born, because end of the day we're having some serious players coming back around, and he have to give some good performance. We can't defending him and say, maybe because him just get called up and this, that. No, I think he been around the team now. He playing in our Gold Cup. He playing in our World Cup qualifier. So many friendlies and all. So he should at least adjust to the environment and the team now. And
no excuse. This is in England.
Yeah, this is in England. So there's no excuse, And Isaac Hayden cannot sit down and wait until his money, his contract run out at Newcastle. It's not Newcastle. Because he on loan. He cannot do that because there's no way he can able to get called up for the team and just complain. No, I don't want that. I want that they need to go out. Take the contract. Take the cut. The cut in the contract that you're probably gonna need at a pay cut.
Yeah.
So you can
there's no way he's going to get 50K again in his career.
No way. You get what I'm saying? So it makes sense. And that part of the midfield is such an important part of our pieces. You get what I'm saying? And we be crying out for a good defensive midfielder. You get what I say? So hopefully him able to, because I think he have quality out of all the midfielder that we have.
Yeah.
We have not. I can't remember last when we have a natural DM, and I think he is like a natural DM, someone that can able to prevent and help the back line. You get what I'm saying? And he have a quality. I remember I used to watch him when he used to play for Newcastle, and he have qualities. You get what I'm saying? I don't know what the level is at right now playing at that level, but I think that the quality he have, attribute he have as a player, can take the ball from the back line and able to bring up the ball. I like that. I like that about him. You get what I'm saying? I think he give me a player that wants to have the ball, and I like that about him. You get me? So I think he have to sort out his club move, but I love to see what he's gonna be him and Casey Palmer in that double pivot together. I want to see a whole that connection. You get what I'm saying? Because if Casey Palmer does not turn up, we have to go figure it out and find someone else to put beside him. Beside Isaac Hayden.
And I want to say this player name, John Russell. I don't think these two games are trial for John Russell. What he did in that last season deserve a little bit of longevity in the national team. Deserve not just these two games, but deserve to be in BVI and Guatemala and the Gold Cup. You understand? His performance speak for itself. His goals speak for itself. His consistency in League One speak for itself. So, John Russell, I would just want to see what John Russell do in League One. Just play with confidence. Play to your ability. Steve McLaren, don't overthink the midfield. Give them a little bit of freedom. Allow the team to get the balls in the box. Allow the team knowing that John Russell is that runner in the box like a Frank Lampard. Always pop up on the back post. Always pop up on the edge of the D. Getting that ball. You understand? When that ball get down in the wing, we must always be looking for that 6'4" fella.
Yeah.
Running either at the back post or on the edge of the D. Somehow they need to do that. So I just trying to figure out, like, is it that because these three guys are the guys that maybe start? Because look, if you look at Isaac Hayden, Casey Palmer, Brandon Covert, John Russell, and Daniel Green from Mount Pleasant. Look, Brandon Covert just coming back in the team, Daniel Green just coming back in the team. It has to be the three main stake players.
Yeah.
It has to be them three players, and where Casey Palmer fit, what is best position between Isaac Hayden and Jonathan Russell. Casey Palmer overall, like, he's a good individual. He's someone that commit to the team.
Yeah.
And I want him to do well. He's a Jamaican. I don't want him to fail. I want him to turn around his farm. So this is why I want the players to treat this game as it's a competitive game.
I think every game going forward to the World Cup qualifiers and including the Gold Cup, there's no game to be taken joke. If you're a player and you get called up for the team, remember I said World Cup is next year though.
Yeah.
So there's no way, there's no game right now you can take for a joke.
Yeah.
You get what I say? Friendly, not competitive. You have to put out your all on the field so you can be on. If we make it to the World Cup, so you can be on that plane. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to put out every game now. You have to put your stamp on it, so you're in at the team. You get what I'm saying? So no game, no player can take for granted right now. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm going to say this: even if Casey Palmer fail in the next two games in this Uni Cup tournament, I wouldn't just leave him out of the team.
Who, Russell or
no, Casey Palmer?
Casey Palmer.
People, you can actually click the link, and you could have your say. You won't be on the stream, but your voice will be heard. Across the platform. Your face will be anonymous to the viewers, but Casey Palmer, this is an important game for him. You understand? And I will say, if he fails, this is his last opportunity he will get in around this pace of this magnitude of the games that we are going into in the near future. He will not guarantee to be a starter in the World Cup qualifier and the Gold Cup. If he cannot prove to us now against Trinidad and the GTEC Stadium, where I know Trinidad, look, they're still the field that they have back home in Trinidad. It's lovely. Yeah, it's lush, pretty. You understand? I saw they played a game a few back with Cuba. when they beat Cuba 4-0. That field, Jamaica have no field near that level. You understand? So, but it's Casey Palmer last chance of getting his name in that starting 11. If he cannot make it, he's going to have to find himself on the bench. You understand? He's going to find himself on the bench. I don't know. They need to connect their. Oh, I guess whoever on the stream need to. They will need to connect their Mac cam before you can add them. Then I think like your audio. You have to connect your audio. Whoever text who is on the stream. Understand? So need to connect your audio. So kick you out and forward back index. So rejoin, I think you have to connect like allow, your phone to use your audio and your mic and your camera, and then when you in the background, you just click the camera and then leave the audio on so you can be heard over the platform. But yeah, but you agree with me that like this is the last opportunity for him to get a start in the Reggae Boy future, in the Reggae Boy team in the near future. Because if he fail in these two games, no way he should be starting against BVI and against Guatemala in Kingston.
No, and I think if you see the fans them
Yeah.
and criticize him a lot. You get what I'm saying? Like every time when Casey Palmer do play, and him, because you have to remember, the midfield is the main part on a football field. The engine. You see, if you cannot control the engine of your team, you're not going to win a football games. You get what I'm saying? And if you have a man in the midfield that's slack, it won't work. You get what I'm saying? So, Casey Palmer, you're gonna be always showing up. It's gonna show you up. If you're in the midfield, you're not performing. It's going to show you up. So, him cannot go into these games and not performing. You get what I'm saying? And one thing with football, you see, if you're not performing for your club, it will show you up. You get what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that he is taking these games very serious. You get what I'm saying? Because end of the day, we as fans, we're gonna come on here and we're gonna tell you the truth. You get what I'm saying? And the coach cannot have anybody in the team and not performing. So these games that him get called up for, he have a very poor season. These games are massive for him to step it up.
Yeah. So one thing, I forgot to highlight that moving forward, for me, Daniel, for me personally, at this point, Greg Lay should be that left back for me. For me, this is me personally. I just think that in the last 2 months, watching Luton Town try to survive in the championship, Amar quality dragged down with that team.
Yeah.
He was playing on low confident. He lost himself. The whole entire team last day, I believe. I know international, it might be different because you're around a more happy bunch of players. You're more around, steady. The vibe is right. The moral amongst the players are right. But for me personally, Greg Lay picked up an hamstring injury. He missed World Cup. He missed the games against St. Lucia, I think. And when you look at it, he found back in place in Oxford, and he continued where he left off in the campaign. So I think for me personally, it's not a far head where Greg Lay is far from Amari, but it's very close. They are neck and neck. And I think right now, if you ask me, Greg Lay is ahead of Amari Bell. And we need competition over the other side of the wing, the right back. We need competition. You have Kyle Ming there, the Mount Pleasant player, who can play center half and right back. I don't think going forward he will bring that challenge. I just think he just be there because they want to pick local players, but he's good, not undermine his quality and the opportunity if you get abroad, he can maintain something abroad, and play in a very good league. But for now, we need that cover over on that right hand side. We definitely need that cover because Dexter had a woeful season this campaign in terms of what he achieved in 2023-2024 campaign. to compare to the last campaign, you know, 2 different loan spells. And the same thing happened 2022, 2023, 2024, different loan spells, different clubs. But he managed to get games and he managed to play to his best of his ability.
Yeah.
And both loan spells work out for him when he scored that goal against Panama. Now, went to Switzerland, it didn't work out. He got injured. The coach didn't favor him. He came back, went to Fleetwood. Barnsley, I think Barnsley wasn't the starting right back. And when it announced, I said, this guy will not get enough start in this Barnsley team because they play 3 at the back. The guy that play right wing back is one of their main player in the team.
Yeah.
So he will definitely not get enough game, but he get games in terms of, you know, come off the bench, you know, and stuff like that. You understand? He came off the bench, but for me, we definitely need somebody over there on that right hand side, you know, to give him that cover, you know, to give him that competition. You see, like Gregley and Amarabel, they're close, they're very close, and then you know you have like the Nada Bell who are playing in America. You know, when he come, he never really put any foot wrong. He's okay there, so I just think that you know we need that that a main stake over there to challenge, you know, young Dexter Lemekis. I saw Alva Spowell, you know, in the 60-man roster. I don't know, but people said Alva Spowell is having his best season in MLS. I don't see it. I don't see it. You know, Carlington Grant said Omari, you know, is a better reader of Amari is a better reader of the game. You know, but for me, to be honest, I'm looking at, you know, where the both players are, you know, having the best time right now for their club team, and can more easier to transition it into the senior team. But I mean, if someone come on here and say, hey, Gregley should start, or if Amar Bell should start, I can't, you know, rubbish them because it's very close between the two players. It's not a far distance away. You know, look at the wing eras. No, you know, Daniel, look at the wing eras. We have Cephas, you know, we have Kaim Dixon. Again, you know, we talk about the midfield and we didn't mention Ravel, but we're going to leave Ravel segment for Ravel. This is every month special segment. Yeah, you get what I say? We're going to talk about the Ravel segment different, but Cephas, another player that he will always be a player that will name once he's available. He always be that player that, you know, will get named in any Reggae Boy team going forward. You understand? But it's going to be a special game for him as well. Another player that should be looking for a club this summer. Cephas has strength, pace, everything. He's working on, you know, his end product. It's better, if you ask me, than probably, you know, 8 months ago. It's better now. But in the English climate, a Cephas space like a Aaron Lennon, that's what something needed in England to highlight him and put himself out there on the market.
Yeah. I think Cephas quality is get behind. You know, he's like an outlet. You know, someone you can really get behind a team. You know what I'm saying? Especially if a team is playing that highline. But one day I want to see Cephas. What I want to see Cephas start to work on is decision making. You know, sometimes it tend to hold his head down a little bit too long. You know, it just need to start whooping it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's something that he can work on. I think everything is good, and he just have to just leg the ball a little bit. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes kind of hold on the ball too long. You get what I'm saying? But I definitely would love to see him playing on that left side. You know, start to give what's his name, Demar Gray a challenge on that left side. But I think Cephas is definitely someone. You know, every time he came out for Jamaica, it doesn't really do too much wrong. You know, he's like someone who get the team push forward. You know, he's just with his speed and stuff like that. And I think Cephas, if there's anything Cephas can do, is try to put himself on the market. You know, I think Cephas is someone who I definitely can see in the championship, even in the League One. I
think the championship will be a very good start for him.
Yeah, I think he does have the quality to play.
If the contract is there, if there's a contract in League One and there's no contract, or that club that will suit him in the championship, that will guarantee him game after game.
Yeah.
I think, look, you can take the step down and play in League One, because I think if you look at how he played, I think he will score loads of goals in League One. He will score goals in League One. Trust me. And then from there, you can make the step up to, you never know, to a top championship team, a team that dropping down from the Premier League and try to go back up. And then if all of a sudden, 18 months time, he find himself in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So they are in a big market. This is a huge market.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? This is
and what a better time when the season is over, where all the scouts, and everybody's out. So you couldn't ask for a better time to play this game. You know what I'm saying?
When I listen to the African players that coming over, from Nigeria, in the local league, in Ghana local league as well, the GPL. When I listen to some of them talk, Daniel, they want this opportunity. They want to be out there so people can see them. This is a big moment for them. So I'm hoping, the Richard King, the Kyle Ming, all these young players, the Warner Brown. Look, number 9. Once you put the ball in the back of the net, someone will come for you. And once they look, Warner Brown scored 2 from 2 or 2 from the 2 goals, 3 goals in the 2 games, right?
Yeah.
And they look at his track record, what he's done in the Jamaican Premier League. They said, okay, a League One team, maybe if the 21 goals can probably lead to like 10 goals in the League One, and then he can build from that, get used to, get accustomed to, the English style of play, get accustomed to how, the coach want to play. So his track record is good at Arnett Gardner already. It's just him now to try to manifest that more goals in his lack for the national team. And if he can get a couple goals, at least 1 or 2, even score that. If he can get that goal that he scored at Sabina Park against Trinidad, or say he scored against Nigeria, and especially in the final against Ghana, one of them team, they will be like, whoa, who is this kid?
Yeah,
who is this boy?
I think the eyes. I think people are gonna really, really want to watch the games that we are playing against the Nigerians and the Ghana. I think that's where because you're gonna have the other fans from different culture watch. I think Trinidad fans already know what they're gonna get with Jamaica.
What do you think about this?
What? I don't want them to overwork Warner Brown. Why? I think Warner Bros. is fresh, ready to go. What do you mean overworking?
I don't know. I don't understand. I'm trying to think
what?
of. He had a look of knock during the playoff. Arnett Gardner look of ankle injury.
Yeah.
So not something that he can keep him out of a game, but something that just need a couple of days rest. Can heal properly. So I don't know if because of that or what happened to Cavalier player where they overwork him in a playoff and till him just drop down on the pitch and start to lose breath. You understand where they need oxygen and so I don't know if because of that. I don't know.
No, I don't think because you remember Jamaica hot, you get what I'm saying? They're going to a different climate, you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he will be overworked, you get what I'm saying? But he should know his body, he should, and I don't think, because I still think the coach gonna treat these games like friendlies. So I expect him probably gonna go with a full team and then start making a lot of changes. You get what I'm saying? So I don't expect any player, maybe the defender, the keepers, I don't expect every player to play a full 90 minutes. You get what I'm saying? Because I feel like they're still gonna treat these games as a much like a friendly game. So you know what I'm saying? But if Corey is more talking about him, like, I love to see Warner play in this tournament and still able to get to the World Cup qualifiers games.
Okay, maybe that makes sense. I mean, that's a good point there, because if you look at it, we're still not sure about the number 9. Because Daniel, think, all right, if I was Steve McLaren and you Shaman Nichols and you come to me and say, and I come to you and said, look, the Liga MX season is finished. I want you to be a part of the Unity Cup going forward. Wouldn't you probably look at and take that opportunity, to actually market your brand as well? Put yourself out there more. I mean, you're not playing in the football at this moment, or maybe the coach just don't fancy him for the squad. But looking at it like,
because
like a player like him, like out of season should be available if the coach did want him. You understand? I'm just saying,
No, I don't think Nicholson should be right now to be near the squad. I know you're saying they'll put himself out there, but do you think Nicholson gonna be trying to move right now after just get a move to Mexico?
No, but I mean, spread the
But
Nicholson brand. You never know,
I
bro.
get, I
This is
get,
England.
I get what you say, but I feel like Nicholson get that. I feel like Nicholson already.
Is it Nicholson?
I feel like Nicholson is the established player already. I don't think
But
Nicholson.
it's just me looking at it like, yo, you're not playing the ball right now. You just don't yard, so run up and down and run in a hard sun and do something physical.
So you don't think the coach maybe doesn't want Nicholson in the team right now?
I don't know.
And maybe he will be part of the World Cup squad.
He will definitely be a part of the World Cup squad. Definitely, I know that he will definitely be a part of the World Cup squad going.
I mean, Nicholson thinking bigger than this
Yeah.
the program.
All right, make one run come score some goal. And you see what I go on, and then get a big contract at Europe, and then do what Nicholson did, 3-4 years ago when he was playing in Belgium, and you see where he start find himself outside of the squad. Maria Bowser, someone that going through another a second dry spell of, not playing really well, for the national team, and not playing, so impressive for the club team as well. You understand? But I'm looking at it and I can't see any other out and out winger. I know Daniel Green can play as a winger, but he more to play like as a number 10 for Mount Pleasant and the top of the season. And I'm looking at the front line, there's no Javanese, Romran Borrell is a number 9, no Dwayne Atkins, someone that is an out and out winger, that if all was well with Dwayne Atkinson, with Cavalier, before that injury, I probably think Dwayne Atkins would have been that player to start on of that wing, because 1v1 is just deadly. They would look at him like, look, where is this player? Which part in Jamaica that player did there? You understand? But Kyan Dixon, should be a big day for him tomorrow. With the players that not in the squad, Kyan Dixon should be on one of those wing with Ronald Asifas, and another player that, as I said in my video at my job earlier today, that in team in a championship, that can be a blessing in the sky. And I want to hear and get your takes on this as well. It can be a blessing in the sky in terms of, his team is playing higher, and you just never know what can happen in football. Football is a crazy sport. It's just a crazy space where in 4 months' time from now, that the coach just look at Kaim and just think that, I should give that youth a chance. Yeah. Just give him a chance by looking at what he's doing in training. Things like that can happen.
Yeah, I think Kadim, I said this in my last video, I think Kadim is the future. He's the future for the Jamaica team. Whisper. Once one Whisper start, play some, get back on the grass.
So much opportunity I miss out by Whisper.
So many. But I think I think this will be the time when Kadim Dixon really have to show him talent. I think this summer gonna be massive for him, so he can able to get into the senior team in Charlton. So he can start playing football consistently. They're in the championship now, right? Correct?
Yeah.
So the height, that's a level right underneath, right next to the Premier League. You get what I'm saying? So he's good in there. I think Kadim Dixon. I think if me and him, Kadim Dixon, I think I will start preparing myself to establish myself into this Jamaica team. Yeah. So when next year come, I'm in this team, because people forget about age, as I'm saying. Forget about age. Lamal is one of the best players in the world right now. If you're doing the work on the field, you will get play. All of them experienced man, they want to love for call up and putting on the team. If Kadim Dixon is performing to a level, he should be starting for the team. If it doesn't matter who you name, you get what I say? If Kadim Dixon play, he should be on the right side playing.
Yeah.
You get what I say? If he's playing better than Liam Bailey, he should be starting. You get me? So I think Kadim Dixon, I don't know the guy, but I feel like I have this feeling that he will be one of those players where whenever I get it, he will take it. I like his attitude. I like his attitude. So I'm confident that he will get the opportunity and grab it.
Yeah. We have someone in the background ready to join. Let me get the man himself that missing from football over 2-3 months from. You know, 4-3-3. Roll out.
Yo, you hear me?
Clear. Loud.
Big up. Listen, I really want to talk to the conference man, them, you know.
Yo, we don't bother to go to say that because we're not in a chat around the same person.
For real, Daniel, big up yourself.
Yeah, big up yourself, my G.
Yeah, I say no, presser.
Yeah, so we are
Knock
tapping.
the leather, not the leather.
Yeah, I'm listen to your convo and in terms of Dixon, obviously
Yeah.
man whisper the future,
Yeah.
I think in terms of the next year or two, Dixon now at 19, whisper about 18, going to 19, I believe.
Yeah.
So I think I think within the next year or two, them need for that at a level where them will play like football, like first team football, hopefully.
Yeah.
Because by next year, so like under 21s and under 23s kind of past them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You start to try, try to start to become a full-fledged professional football player. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't necessarily have to be a Charlton or even like Chelsea, for example. You just want to find a club where it's still within Europe at a respectable level, where you're playing first team football. I think for Dixon it's a bit easier being at Charlton, where I think in terms of how we see them kind of put Dixon forward, I think they're trying to nurture him to make him into a player that they want for the future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas Whisper Chelsea is a bit more difficult, seeing that them always are buy players and whatever the case is. So for Whisper, it's more like when him come back from injury and start playing next season, just do him thing, and then from this him just kind of assess him options. And if him can break into the first team, breaking at the first team.
Yeah.
I know, but I look on Chelsea this season at the Conference League, and I say, a lot of the youngsters miss playing at the Conference League. I believe that maybe Whisper could have been one of them if he was not injured.
Definitely would have get some minutes. Definitely would have get some minutes.
Been that mentioned. I say that to Nick all the time. Like if Whisper did once, it was available. He have the quality, and I think he would have definitely getting on the team. But unfortunately, the injuries what he have just couldn't able to.
Setback.
Yeah,
But presser, like I would say now, if Dixon can't get in at the championship team going, the 2025-2026 season, you would say a lone move in League One would have really test him quality in England.
Yeah, I think it's a blessing that they're in the championship in the sense that they can push him back down to League One or League Two for a loan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think there are many teams out there that could use a youngster. Well, I don't even want to call him a youngster again now, but he's a youngster in a sense. But they could use a player like Dixon who, we see the potential of Dixon. We saw him do with the under 21s, I believe it is, right? Him score, whatever the case is, him come up in at the first team. The manager for Charlton say him kind of need a bit more work. But I guess if him go down back to a level of like League One or League Two to a team where like them want a exciting player or something like that, it could do well for Dixon. And I don't expect that him to go play like every game for their respective team there across next season. But if him can play over a handful of games, getting good minutes, then I think that will help in his development. And I think when you look at Dixon and Whisper, I think they want it. I think they're hungry for it. You know what I'm saying? I think any player from Jamaica will leave. They're hungry for the opportunity, And if you look on Dixon, I think we've seen steady improvement since him leave Jamaica, You look, I mean, Ricardo, look on some of the goals where Dixon score. You just can't teach that.
Yeah,
I know
definitely.
it's with the under 21s, but trust me, if you mean that
goals are goals. Goals are goals. Even the striker, Ramon
Borrell, yeah.
Like the goals that he scored in 30 years of Scottish football, like goal are goal. You cannot take that away from a striker.
Yeah.
That's what they get paid for.
It's just whether or not you do it at the next level, but
exactly.
Yeah, I think for Dixon, him 19, don't?
Yeah.
And I play what? Under 23 is my play?
Under 21,
under 21.
Yeah.
So next season can play that again?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he can play, but I know like every time when he missing, is either he went on international break or he went up to the first team.
Yeah.
I remember when he went to the first team to cover for a couple of the players, they got knocked out of the Premier League Cup in the quarterfinals versus Southampton, and for that period, they kind of fell back a little bit from the league title to get into the playoff, to get into the last four. You understand? Of the league that he was playing in. So he was a vital piece for that academy team, and he proved his word. And I think with Kai played a full season there, I just think that he proved what he can do at that level, and the team is going to the championship. And I think if he cannot if he look into himself and look at where the direction of the players that Charlton, will go out and recruit, because they will definitely recruit, but they will not. But the coach said again, he will not overwhelm in that department. He will just bring in the right piece, as he don't want to mess up the morals and the togetherness amongst the players. So I guess there's still a pathway for young players, and it's been that years upon years, even when Darren Bent was coming through Charlton Athletic. You understand? It's the same system that they had, from 20, 30 years about that. It's always young players first. So I think Dixon is at the right place, but it's what next for him. Will he be in the first team setup and training day in and day out with the first team and be in the match day squad getting a couple of minutes? I'm not sure, but for sure there will be a bigger and a larger bench, so maybe there will be more available spot for him as well. If not, then he definitely have to go out and loan. I don't want to see him play academy football anymore.
Yeah. I think a positive would be like make us with them the preseason, if them bring him on like a preseason tour with the first team, right?
Yeah.
I think that in a sense would be the first positive. But as I
Yeah.
say, I agree that you wouldn't want to see him back with like the under 21s or so, or playing academy football. He's been there for like a year or close to a year. And
Yeah.
with a team like Charlton, as I said, the coach no plan for like overwhelm, for kind of like mess up the chemistry and whatever the case is. I think the goal for them is obviously staying in the championship and then progressing forward after that, right?
Yeah.
So they will need to bring in some form of quality players to have a fighting chance of staying in the championship.
Definitely. Yeah.
So it kind of will knock Dixon down the pecking order. So as you say, I agree. Mafi really assess it and say, listen, maybe like a loan would be good for me. And then again, you have so much different types of pyramid in England,
Yeah.
the League One, League
Yeah.
Two, where hopefully them can find a move for him. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's best him stay in England as well. I don't want to see him go like Scandinavia, some of them countries.
Yeah,
Like,
I best if he can stay in England, or he can go probably in Scotland. It's a little bit more easy. As you see, like the player that we have now, Raman Burrell, you understand? He realized that a couple move and he wasn't getting any game. You can look at his teams that he played for, and it wasn't getting any move. And what he did is he went further north. I know that a player like the standard in the championship in Scotland, it's like League One football. And that's where he went. He was amongst like League One championship teams, and he went to the third tier of Scotland, and he scored goals, 20 plus goals. He scored goals, and then guess what? Burton and Albion, those teams will always look at the leading goal scorer in those little leagues, and they will be cheap bargains, and they bring him back.
yeah.
So I think there's a pathway, something similar like that. But again, Preston, me and you and Daniel know the English format that a lot of players can go League Two and last in the system by say Dixon go to Walsall, a team that last in. I think they last in the playoff today. They will play League Two football again. Say you go to that team and then the manager gets sacked 2 months, 3 months. The next manager come in. Him no one Dixon career, go to a pause for the next couple of months.
I feel like the lower it is, and when that happened to you, it's very difficult because you're so low down the pecking order in the division. So whenever a coach come in and them say them do not want you, and for you to find another club, it's very difficult because it can look at as like you're not good enough for that team, or you're gonna make it back up a division. So I think it must be that's right. You have to be very careful when they're making decision. Don't that. Because
and
in the Premier League it's look a bit more easier.
I would say Darren Moore always seems like he want to have that reggae boy on his team. I remember when he was at Sheffield, he wanted to sign Damien Lowe at one point in League One, and Damien Lowe just wasn't having it. You understand? So I just think Darren Moore that help Port Vale promote to League One football from League Two. Maybe you just never know. A former reggae boy player, understand the culture, someone that would love. As a person, someone that would love to see a reggae boy do good for the team. You understand? So you just have to go to a club. When you go out on loan, you have to make sure that it's a family atmosphere. It's a family-oriented team, from the owners to the coach to the players. Everybody's on the same part. You don't want to go to a team where like Watford back in the days, they just aya sack. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's
I think Watford
different.
should be a club that man, him need to wipe off the club there if I feel sorry. I don't know. You can just sack managers like that.
Them sack cleverly, right?
Yeah, I mean, how are you going to progress? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like it just don't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know,
So,
with Dixon, I think Unity Cup him have to use as a window of opportunity as well. And the next thing with Dixon as well, with the Charlton situation, is that
hold on the presser. Hold on. With more if we add this to it, what I gonna say with the Charlton situation. Gold Cup will end like July the 6th, and then that's the final, and then the championship return the first week in August. So there's like a month gap of like you say like a month and probably some change of weeks. Dixie will be back, with Charlton. And probably they would say, hey, go out and get a week or two rest and recover back your body. And it's up to him if you want to accept that or come right back in. You understand? So preseason, he needs to get at least some part of the preseason, but he will definitely come back in Charlton for preseason when they are the halfway in their preseason preparation. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't so much about Charlton, but Daniel did mention something about like you would have gone one club and like a manager and one thing. And I remember watching the Fleming's interview with Eddie.
Yeah.
And Fleming started about him go to Toulouse, and he's like somebody did want him, but then like when that person they kind of leave or our next coach they come in, like them never really interested, and then when they make it to the first league, the first division, then buy more players which push him down the pecking order. So it wasn't a case where he wasn't really a good player. It's just that, as him say, when you buy certain players who have a more higher valuation than you, it's like them not gonna really respect you in that sense. If them pay 5 million for a man, them are gonna want to play more than you, or them just pay like 500,000.
And I think during that time they signed a Moroccan in their team during that time as well, a player that played really well in the World Cup 2022, and Flemo just couldn't get into that team. You understand? But moving forward, but it's a big summer though for a lot of our players. Then it's a big summer. You have anything else you want, Preston?
I just want Jamaica, before I leave, more on Jamaica fix the striking situation. Burrell, 2 strikers like can be from Sheffield and
somebody asks, the one from Sheffield is not in the squad, only the one from Charlton, right?
Yeah, only one from Charlton, but hopefully we can get the one from Sheffield in the future, right? But in terms of Burrell, I'm watching video them, and I think one thing I like with him, he's a poacher in the box as well, He's a poacher in the box. And I think we haven't had that in a long while. In terms of like Nicholson, Antonio is more like hold up play in a sense and then try getting behind, where Burrell, he occupies the 18-yard box. You know what I'm saying? He has that anticipation. And I feel like as a striker, he can anticipate where the ball is going to fall. And if you look at some of his goals this season, he really have good anticipation to be a poacher in the box.
And he's like a pressing forward as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And he, as a player, I think he's probably no more than 6'1". He's not very tall, but he have a good leap that can spring and get headers, win aerial duels as well. So I think tomorrow will be definitely a big day for him as well. He's the one that going forward. I don't think we should just throw him away if things doesn't work out well in the next couple of games, but we should continue to monitor him and continue to keep in touch. These are the things that like Presser, you watch Thomas Tuchel interviews for the Three Lions, and they continue to talk about Wharton and these players, that he continue to have communication, dialogue with them, make sure that they're in the right space, speaking to the under 21 manager, to make sure that things are in the right place for them, and knowing that look, they will be somewhere in the squad in the near future. I think we should keep doing that, as we need to start to do that as well, with our young players.
I mean, I wish if the Jamaican structure was like that, but I forgot it's still. I'll leave it at that still. Big up on yourself.
Yeah, man, best of yourself.
Man, best of yourself.
You have anything to add, Daniel?
That Burrell guy, I've never seen playing before.
I never heard of him until he got called up.
Oh, I
never heard of him. I managed to see a couple of clippings, but that's all. I never watched him in a live game. Even when he was playing for Burton and Albion, I just never really knowing that was a player that the Reggae Boys was looking at, and he will be amongst the players in the Unity Cup. So tomorrow, hopefully, I know for sure with him and Warner Brown as the two, out and out number 9. We saw Mikel Antonio there. We don't know if he's just the coach is just calling him to come train. To see physicality, just a high test to see where he's at, and that's really good. But for sure, the 2 fit number 9, Burrell and Warner, we definitely should see Burrell tomorrow.
I think it's a positive to start seeing new players. I feel like especially in that striker role. I feel like we've been crying out for someone to. Otherwise, Antonio, I know Antonio do his thing, and Nicholson. It's a positive to start see fresh faces in the number 9 role.
And Burrell is someone that exactly how you see Michael Seaton.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
He's exactly play like that. Play that like on a springboard. As they give them it, them just gone. Just like that. They know to break the line. They're quick.
I think that's something very refreshing because as you said, I think Anthony and Nicholson, they're more like a hold-up striker.
Yeah, and Corey Burke are the same thing. Yeah. Romario Williams.
You have not really get someone that can break the lines like
like you see, our Jonathan David. You see that Jonathan David?
Yeah.
For someone like our Santa Jimenez that as them get it, them just gone.
Yeah, I think we've been lacking.
We don't
have someone that can break the lines.
So it's all up to if Burrell can make that transition. We know it's going to be a big step up from League One to international setup, especially against the African teams. It doesn't matter where those players locate, they will play only one way, and that will come just right at you like a wind force. They will be all in your face. You understand? So it's going to be a big step up. That's why I said, fans, just be patient, especially with Burrell. It's League One, he's playing in, but he needs a little bit of time to wet his feet and just to understand and try to get the pace and he may experience that Unity Cup, Daniel, and then he can go back home and lay down in bed for 2 nights straight and I say, yo, just make my debut, for the national team. Like, yo, I saw it take for stay and sustain that level here. Then we need to work on this and that, and then need to make sure him bring him game to the mechanic shop, and adjust that. Nobody go around at the cheap mechanic shop and pay 1/5 flap on your body and cheat the code. You need to make sure that they spend every ounce of minutes on your craft. You understand? So we definitely see what Warner Brown made up of. He's a one that want to see. At that level, we talk about him. Look, it's refreshing that, as I said, we get new face because look, Warner Brown scored. And it's like the whole place light up. I say Warner Brown. Because we want to see something new. We not like what Warner Brown have. We not really bring through a lot of those players. We used to have a Marlon King. We used to have a Ryan Johnson. We never used to have that player that quick through the lines.
Yeah.
We don't really have, a lot of players. Like we usually have like this bulk up strikers. We used to have like a bug player named Clayton Donaldson and some play. What I'm saying? We breed up a lot of Jeremy and Tuffy Anderson and Newton Sterling back home and them play. We don't really get to see the Walter Boy them where players them can play anywhere across the country.
And if you've been a regular boy fans for a year, I feel like Jamaica, the way how we like to play football is like a Brazil. We want to play that samba football, pile man and salad.
Scrimmage game.
I just feel like over the years we've been misprofiling a lot of players and we just not been getting the right set of players to play the football that we want to play. The reggae boy football. So it's refreshing to see new faces with you.
So DNA, if you can forward and give us some insight on the Trinity, that would be really lovely. And I know you say at work, but if you can pinch, 8 minutes of your time at work, you understand, and give some insight. Know you talk a lot about the Trinidad team. So the link is in the comment. You just find a link, and if you can come and drop some insight because it's mixed feeling around the Trinidad team. It's mixed feeling, and I want to talk a little bit on them, but not as yet. But Lord Ravel, Daniel, is in the team. He's one of the players that wasn't in the 60-man roster. You understand? And if this man come in, Daniel, like, if you look at it, this is a guy that have a Jamaican license. Ravel tell you bluntly, say him can't pass the test at England. Say him have a Mexican license and a Jamaican license. You understand? Him say him can't pass that, but me and you know the story behind getting a Jamaican license. And I said, yeah, you know the story.
You probably buy that one day too.
Just go around and just go to Spanish Town around at the depot and walk with your link and paper and thing get signed up and you understand. We are here know all the backstory go already. But this is a man that love the culture, love Jamaica, love everything, and want to play for the national team. Even when he's out looking, from the Far East, said that he wish he is a part of the national setup. And moving forward, me and you know that Alex Ferguson once signed a player that nobody did want in football at the time, Eric Cantona. And Sir Alex Ferguson signed him. And he won the Premier League for them. He's a player with that same attitude, with that, the same little influence in the dressing room like a Ravel. Someone that have a lot of off the field issue with drinking, family problem, relationship problem. We know Ravel his mom never stay healthy during his younger phase in his career. Always have to go back home in England to stay with his younger brothers and stuff like that. So you might have him look up family hiccups where kind of derail him in future a little bit and derail his meds. So Ravel is a player even up to today. You have to treat a mindset, in mental space like a kid. You have to always, like you just a plant of flowers, you just have to always keep water it to keep it blossom, keep it going. That's a player like Ravel. Ravel is that player. So picking him, I know this will be like a back against the wall challenge for Ravel. I know, if things doesn't work out or things doesn't go the right way for Ravel, he will definitely be on the outskirts again looking. And listen to the interview, the podcast that Ravel did talking about, he's still talking to Precision FC about coming back into next season, third tier. I'm like, Ravel really serious about football? Understand? Is Ravel really serious about football?
Yeah.
I'm going to play this, and I did this video like 7 months ago. A clip of when Ravel was trying to get a team, and DNA, give me a second there.
Mute the thing.
I mute it, man. Me a second there, DNA, but it's a player that you have to protect his mental space. And the guy tell us when he talked to Ravel, when Ravel was in the PFA free agent squad team, even I think Michael Etta was in that team, I think, and a couple more players trying to get like a PFA have a thing where every summer them group up all the free agents around in England and try to find clubs for them, put them in a first tier session where they have very good coach, the facilities up to par, everything, travel them to UAE as well, get them clubs and all that. But listen to this about how the DC moving from DC fit, ready to go again, but that opportunity didn't come for Ravel, and this is it.
But the kind of most notable figure who I spoke to for 5 or 10 minutes after the game was Ravel Morrison. For nearly 2 years, left DC United about a year ago, where he went out there. He was brought out there by Wayne Rooney. He'd also played for Derby County under Wayne Rooney before that. He's played for Östersunds in Sweden. He's played for a team in Mexico. He's played for Lazio.
Still only 31 as well.
He's only 31, yeah. But he's been 2 years out of the game, and he admitted. First thing he said too was, my head really dropped because it's so hard. He's like, I came back from the States. I was on it. I got fit, and nothing. None of the things that were kind of threatening to, the opportunities that were threatening to arise really came to anything, and then my head went, and it's really difficult to maintain the sort of focus and the drive. But he's back there, and he looked quite fit, and he played 75 minutes, his first game in donkeys. Yeah. He's going to be there next week as well, and he said he's had a few inquiries from League One clubs.
So you hear the man, so like he made kind of like Ravel is a man, him head easy to get cheap, brother. It's a player like that where you have to manage him. And Steve was a man that came up under the ranks with Sir Alex Ferguson. Seeing Sir Alex Ferguson, even Alan Smith was a man that he made just chip sometime. But Alex Ferguson have that ego and have that man management, to manage his players. So that's what I say. Steve McLaren, if he know that Ravel is a man that have them quality and him say him love players that need to get on the ball. That's why I love Kyle Dixon. He want to play position football. He one of the men that will help to get the system across that he want to play. Understand? But we are going to get back to that. I'm going to hear your thoughts on it as well. We might play it back. But, DNA.
Oh, go on. They got the man there now. They got the
manners,
Yeah,
brother.
yeah.
The Trini, Soca Warriors. I here say, on a confident, we got to in the group with playing 80 US and Saudi Arabia. But tell me about this Unity Cup team, especially aside team players from the PSV young junior team. You have a couple players come up to the ranks of Crystal Palace, and you have quite a few youngsters. Then you have Isaac, Lee, scored goals right now for the national team. You're playing a 3-5-2, and I want to know why there's no Jamaican Premier League players that who's Trinidadian that played in the last cup of competitive games against Cuba, not amongst these players going forward in the Unity Cup squad. Let me know what's going on with the Trinity team.
All right. Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. You know, we're not going to stay much longer.
Yeah, man.
You got the man there, man, the chat. So, here, man, I say, all right. You see this Unity Cup thing with the Trinidad and Tobago team?
Yeah.
It's not an official selective team that the official one where them are going to use in the Gold Cup or them are using the World Cup qualifier.
Yeah.
Same as how Jamaica experienced some players, Trinidad throw out some players to as well because they want to see some other rest are individual who have the capability to go forward, So when I check the squad, you have a new player now got called up from Crystal Palace, recording.
Yeah.
Him get him first call up for the squad. A very good player in there, the under 21 levels right now. And I think they have them first choice goalkeeper, which is Denzel Smith.
Yeah.
Him are one of them who always been in between the stick as well for Trinidad and Tobago. So not really their full straight, because when you think about the forward line, you have the wing, you don't have Levi Garcia right now, and you don't have Spicer, and all them have some very good players in and around the diaspora.
Spicer is not in the team?
No, in the under Trippier.
What about the wing back? What about the wing back named Garcia?
Yeah, man, the Garcia did it.
All right.
So they have one or few first team player like Meloni and all them other players. Yeah, there's one or few players, man. But I better them have some other players where them never call up before, and them just see when can get out of this squad, So when the Gold Cup come around, more likely you're gonna see some other rest of players who never been in this unit.
What about the Hospitalis from Moby and Trimming and what about them players?
I'm telling you, I don't know if they will be involved in the Gold Cup or the World Cup qualifier
because they start against Cuba, right?
Yeah. Well, as fortunately, one player that I was advocating for still is the one of their speed side Cavaliers. One of them, Orvi.
Yeah,
quite love it. That player is a very good player, but speed now you really use him not much either. So I see him in the 60-man pool for Trinidad. I'm say, okay, right, they consider him. So he's looking good. But
what about
I don't see.
What about Natty James?
Natty James.
Yeah.
All right. I think when I scored it, I know.
60-man pool leader?
Yeah, the 60-man pool, yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but a lot of players in the 60-man pool. I'll tell you, this Unity Cup, them just them just try some other players.
Yeah.
And thing, I'll tell you, but look out for the World Cup. They're gonna have a full strength squad plus the World Cup qualifier. They're gonna have a full strength squad. You know. So
Who is
this
that?
just some
One
preparation.
last question. Who is that assistant? I heard he's a prominent figure in Trinidadian football that who's alongside Dwight York.
That what name again? Oh, Latapi name.
So I think something like that. I heard he's a very prominent one, and that the people in Trinidad look up to him as a great footballing mind.
Yeah. I think he used to been around the national team too as well now. You know?
Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
so
it seems like
Them
Dwight
have a-
York pump some new belief in this Trinidad team.
right.
moving forward.
And I'm like him talk and him kind of lift the spirit of the nation and let everybody come behind the team, you know. But
Yeah.
he might do a good thing, and we not really gonna bash him yet because remember Trinidad never really have a very much good quality team in the back then. I know them try to build something because remember there was an normalization for 5 years ago, and they got released and things. So during them time it wasn't no football. So
it's good time now for Trinidad people to support the team.
Well, exactly. So
And,
more than likely you're gonna have people who are gonna jump around because I go into the match the 6th, and you see it at
St. Kitts game?
Right.
Yeah.
And I tell her, them definitely support them team in it because I got to couple matches.
The infrastructure of that field that they play Cuba and my God, man. Look like DNA have run. We're take him out.
Well, finish your point now.
No, I mean I say the field. You guys have some I know you guys host some junior World Cups already, but the infrastructure of that field, is it the Crawford Stadium or was it the Brian Lara's cricket pitch or whatever that game played on?
Right. Yeah, definitely. They have some very good pitch. Essex Crawford Stadium and the Dwight York Stadium that is in Tobago. Definitely.
Yeah.
That one, those two pitch is a very, very good pitch.
Yeah.
So I tell when they play on it, it's like a carpet.
Yeah, man. So they be familiar with the pitch in Brentford, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So man, respect for the insight for Trinidad football.
But, say me a Jamaican do that.
Yeah, man. But we know, you reside over there now.
We live over here, I see it.
Yeah, so you get caught up of supporting and talking about Trinidad team as well. Yeah, man. Watch your channel. Man.
Yeah, man. So I'll get a link. I will do a thing.
Yeah, just link me on Instagram, man. Just link me on Instagram.
I sent a thing already.
All right.
I think we follow you on Instagram already. Yeah, man.
Link me, man. Just link me. I see it, brother.
All right, I'll message you then. No, say a word.
All right. Yeah, man. Man has a respect.
Yeah, man. Big up the man, them. Let's see.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so anybody else want zone in and have your say, the link is in somewhere in the comment, you can zone in and have your say. Travis, call the show and talk about what you want to talk about, because you see Travis, you always have some war where you want to pick with heritage and find the fine margin about heritage and local players. Boss, I understand what you say, but me never really look into it before. But as I said, you name Travis Pessoa from the west of Jamaica where they get the best. You understand? So you have that Einstein thinking of find that thing and that fine margin of heritage and local players. But a unity we say Travis, and we're gonna play the Unity Cup. So moving forward, a unity we want in the team. You understand? But Daniel, get back to the Ravel situation. You want me to play about the clip again?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we talk about, we are getting in the segment, talk about Ravel, because we know Ravel is an athlete player in terms of, in head and in mindset can get chipped any given time where he just walk out of a situation and like, yo, me can't bother with this. But personally, we only hear issues behind the scene with Ravel. We never really see it forward yet. Me personally never see it forward, but we hear about the issues off the field. But Ravel is a player that, the coach just have to nurture him. He's a special talent, and special player do get special treatment. Wrong or right, Daniel?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so this is what I was saying, that Ravel had the opportunity in last year, the build up in the summer and onwards in September to sign, because something was there on the table at League One level, but he decided that he's going over there, just like Judah Fleming said, the money too sweet for leave the Middle East. You understand?
But the kind of most notable figure who I spoke to for 5 or 10 minutes after the game was Ravel Morrison. For nearly 2 years, left DC United about a year ago, where he went out there. He was brought out there by Wayne Rooney. He'd also played for Derby County under Wayne Rooney before that. He's played for Östersunds in Sweden. He's played for a team in Mexico. He's played for Lazio.
Still only 31 as well.
He's only 31, yeah. But he's been 2 years out of the game, and he admitted. First thing he said too was, my head really dropped because it's so hard. He's like, I came back from the States. I was on it. I got fit, and nothing. None of the things that were kind of threatening to. The opportunities that were threatening to arise really came to anything, and then my head went, and it's really difficult to maintain the sort of focus and the drive. But he's back there, and he looked quite fit, and he played 75 minutes, his first game in donkeys. He's going to be there next week as well, and he said he's had a few inquiries from League One clubs.
So Daniel, that was back in the summer before the transfer window closed. I know he was a free agent, but still could have signed up. But that was before the transfer window closed, and obviously Ravel mad, and he may just gone over one part where him can't find a Wi-Fi signal, and a couple months time it forward back and him signed for Precision FC. But what's your takes, Duan? How Steve McLaren going forward need to maintain the mental capacity of Ravel, managing that he's a luxury player, a player with high quality that can change a football game in any given time for us. That what you just listen, your thoughts on that. And the game, I think it's 1 p.m. JA time. I think Shaq Europe.
I think Ravel should be a very responsible person right now. I think he should be. I know he go through a lot in his past, especially what happened after what we listened in that voice note. But I think he himself should be experienced enough how to carry himself around the team and stuff like that. But I think sometimes these things, as a player, as a person, just a person in life, go through certain things. This should make you stronger as a person. So I don't think it should be like a conflict around the players and anything that we're Steve McLaren gonna have to go out in way. And because let's be real, since Ravel been around the national team, we never hear anything come out saying that he do
always
this
behind the scene.
Yes, I said so. I don't expect anything to happen. I don't see anything, but I would assume the one-on-one chat with the coach, Steve McLaren, before him able to accept this deal to come back to the team. I think they should have an understanding and know what to do. But seem like a strong character, especially after go through that. Can you imagine, man? The only thing should be going to your head right at that moment, thinking that your career probably gonna be end. You get what I'm saying? Cause this happened to David De Gea. David De Gea went they supposed to get a contract at United, and United let him go, and he was home. Nobody wants him. You get what I'm saying? And Florentina able to get him that move, and look at him now. You get what I'm saying? So it's about what you do with whatever you get opportunity. But I think it's a good step coming back in the floor. What a time to come back around the national team when the World Cup is right around the corner. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what about the clubs, the League One clubs that inquire about him? He's a free agent, so they're going to want to know what's his salary.
I think personally, I would love for him to come back to Europe and able to play at a better level and stuff like that. But you don't know, man. At that stage of your career, you're looking for what you're gonna achieve after you retire. You know, maybe you never know. He might look at it after this World Cup. This might be it for me. You get what I'm saying? So it all depends on what's the future hold for him. What's the long-term thing for him? You get what I'm
So
saying?
potentially this year can be Ravel last year of international football.
It could be. I personally think it could be after the World Cup. You get what I'm saying? So
The reason why I said this year, because I'm just saying that maybe if we don't make it, you know, there's no more Ravel going forward for 2030.
Yeah. So if we don't make it, I could don't see him anymore. But if we do make it, I still think that even if we make it, I still can see him call it that day after the World Cup. You know what I'm saying? But and then again, you know, would you want to jeopardize your bag? Because at the end of the day, you have to think about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like Jamaica, you'll want to play at a level, but he's at that age where he's been around the blocks, he's been all over the place, you know. So I don't think any money that he's getting in Dubai right now, any team in the championship or in the League One is gonna pay him. You get what I'm saying? But I think if there's a pathway for him to still be amongst the team and still stay where he had and able to get whatever he needs, I think we should have that pathway for him. You get what I'm saying?
But he do talk about missing, you know, the Tuesday, Saturday night games in England, in Europe. He do talk about that, so he missed it. You know, so I guess it's something that he's trying to see what's the best option. You understand?
Yeah.
To try to get back in Europe as well. But you know, the Lorenzo, I say, y'all keep talking about the madman. Yeah, that's old news, bro. Like, bro, that's like last year summer. I know something passed, but you know, it's not like we're talking about back his old ways. We're talking about where the guy talk about that when he left DC and trying to get a club when he was fit and ready, his mind just blew away that nobody at the time really wanted him. Nothing was on the table. And for somebody that being around the blocks, that happened to him quite a few times in his career, you would think that he would be a little bit, you know, steady-headed of that experience and like, yo, you know, something that happen. Just stay focused, keep working. That's how I was saying.
Yeah.
That's how I was saying, like, yo, he gave up League One opportunity to take care of his future. And you can't really beat him. But for us, we just can look at and say, hey, you know, we should have signed for the League One team, because if he was playing for that League One team, would have definitely playing at the level where Steve McLaren at the time could have seen. So that's all we are saying. You understand? We now go back in the Lazio and the Atlas and them days, bro. The West Ham days. We now go back around this. So we are talking about what happened recently in the summer. You understand? But I do think, you know, this whole setup right now, currently, you know, for Ravel, and I don't want people like be respectful like madman, like be a little bit respectful.
Yeah, they're Lorenzo. Well, the man a madman. We are called madman.
Because people go through stuffs, bro.
Yeah.
Like, look at Jonah Flemings tell you, like, when him signed for Toulouse, a 9 player go out on loan and them recruit about 4 more wingers. See it and come here and tell you, say, it's not easy out there in Europe. Leon Bailey tell we how much players come out and tell we. So sometimes you have to just respect
I think
them.
the problem with fans and they don't care about what the players go through. You get me? They just care about what's going on the field. You know, sometimes me and you, we do get into that. Sometimes we don't even think about the players' health. We don't think we want them to play every match. We want them to do every game. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we fans, we get caught up in just the game. But sometimes you have to think about what's the after-field issue. Like, these people are human beings just like me and you. You get what I'm saying? They go through stuff like just like how you wake up sick and them wake up sick and them have to play the game tomorrow. And they might have half game. You get what I'm saying? So we have to think about their mental health and what they're going through in their personal life as well. You know?
But you know, it's a big day. Tomorrow will be a big day. You know, I'm not expecting to see Ravel play nothing more than 25, 30 minutes, especially coming from a late call up, coming from a long flight over, to London. I'm not expecting to play no more than 25, 30 minutes in the game. Probably luckily we'll get 50 minutes. But if we can actually get like 50 minutes for him to run that jet lag off, and get back on the pitch, you understand, and just tease, the grass again. But he will be at home, Daniel. He will be back in England. This is his first time playing for the national team. He has something to prove. Definitely will prove something. He's a player that, a player like Eden Hazard. He talk about it like when he see like 3-4 players coming at him, that's when he find pleasure. Other players, when they see 3-4 players coming at them, they get scared. So a player like that have the composure in around the attacking third. You need players like that. And a player like Ravel, let me tell you, I may not play at a professional level like those players, but you see, me personally, as a midfielder, you see, when I was playing alongside, Kevin Blackwood, former Jamaica College, former Excelsior player at Boystone, when I played with Kevin Blackwood, that was the best of me because Kevin Blackwood knew to execute the football better at his feet. So when I play with him, he complement my game. He let me play with a lot more freedom to know that, look, when I get that football, I'm a little bit more calm on the ball because when I know that I can give it to him, someone that who can keep the football, someone that who good at passing the football, it will make my job a lot more easier. But if I don't play with a Kevin Blackwood and I'm playing with someone that who cannot, process the football better than me, it's going to make my job 10 times harder. And look at Casey Palmer. If you look at, the players that Ravel Morrison played in the past, the Speedy Williams, not saying Speedy Williams, done anything really bad for the national team, but look at the quality that Ravel played with in the past. It's chalk the cheese now. Him gonna look side, John Russell, who have a fantastic season, Isaac Hayden, who have the experience at the Premier League level.
Yeah.
So him gonna have players around him. Him gonna have players like Kyle Dixon who want the football, who want to break the line. And Ronaldo Cephas, who is so quick on the football. You have a Warner that someone is hungry. You have a Burrell that have something to prove that going forward he should be a part of the setup. So him have a little bit more quality in around that midfield, and especially if we continue to carry Ravel, and Louis Baker, chip in at the team and bring that experience as well, that will be fantastic. So I'm just saying, the broken system that Ravel, was playing in back then, and Tapa Whitmore, and played a little bit fantastic football under Paul, but it wasn't nothing compared to now. I think the team is a little bit more steady, a little bit more quality in that midfield. So I just think it's all up to him. There's no one else to lose but Ravel. Everything is in his hands at this moment. You understand? The ball is at his feet. Anybody to throw away his career, it has to be Ravel at this moment. So, and I think with a player like him, who always strive when his back is against the wall, because when he got that Derby County contract, nobody really wanted Ravel. The reason why Rooney took him, because Rooney knew about him, and Rooney is a player like that as well. Something similar, who go through little drinking habit, little family issues, but he managed to break that line, break that barrier, and push his career 10 times, 100 times where Ravel should have at least gone. You understand? So it's all about the attitude, and it's all about how Steve McLaren handled that attitude. You have to keep in coming. I'm sorry, but you just cannot treat a Ravel like how you treat a Kyle Ming. You have to treat them different. You have to constantly in dialogue with the player, constantly on the phone with him, when he's away from the national team. Constantly find out what is happening. This is why Sir Alex Ferguson is one of the best in his time. And even now, Jurgen Klopp is just like that. The players them tell you that Jurgen Klopp know all them great grandparents. The youth them are playing at the academy because it's something similar like that. You understand? But Daniel, this Trinidad team, you know, we know Dwight York, a very big influence, player in the past, a very, high prominent figure in Trinidad football. The players will be listening to him. As DNA said, it's not the most high quality Trinidad team, but there are some very young players. They came out of that like a lockdown where they just couldn't, do stuff on a regular daily basis because of that Jack Warner issue. So now they break out of that barrier. Now they see them getting young players from all over. They getting
The
heritage
nails that
players.
be nice.
They getting heritage players. I mean, this team, you expect this team to be in our face in some point in the game, especially and our manager in a former player like Dwight York, someone know exactly how to play in a high profile game. So you may, hand on that experience, in those players. They try to get in those players that, like he said, like the reggae boys, they are ahead of us. There's no doubt about it. They are ahead of us, but we want to bridge and plug that gap. I mean, this Trinidad team, all you expect, to see them, because I think they are a physical team. They will look to pass around the ball a little bit in the midfield, especially if we continue to give Molina, opportunities on the ball. We saw what he can do in the two friendlies game. Very high profile player, but no playing in Trinidad. But I think he still have that little bit of juice in his legs that, yeah, him can make a difference.
Yeah, I think they will have something to prove. What's a better place for prove, say, yeah, the bad man for Caribbean. You see me I say?
Yeah.
It's basically a bragging rights, we are playing for right now, because we can't. Them are come for winning. I think our mentality is going there to see what we have. But I feel like the mentality where the Trinidad is coming with, I feel like they were coming to compete. You get what I'm saying? So I expect them to be well competitive in that game. You get what I'm saying? I feel like if we give at least 80%, I feel like we will lose that game. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially we have so many different
They
players.
will treat it more as a rival than us.
Yes, and remember, we are bringing so many different players, that probably don't have chemistry together. So it's gonna be, we're probably gonna look off. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, the team will have one camp together, one camp. You get me? Probably like one training session.
Yeah.
So I'm not really expecting to see that there's a lot of connection. You get me? But I think experience. We have a lot of experience in the team, so I expect that they should use experience to able to go through the game and stuff like that. But I expect that Trinidad should come. They're gonna come try to prove something. You get what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Definitely. And if we don't at least be on it, we're gonna definitely lose that match.
And I want to say that set piece will be important, because if you look at Kevin Molina, when he whipped those crosses in when he was playing in Jamaica in that friendly, we had issue in terms of how Trinidad, that Mobile player, was getting an end and and attacking those balls in the box. We just couldn't deal with that. So with Mason Allgate and Richard King, who's not the most physical player in terms of their body is not the biggest, but they're not the tallest, but they have to go deal with Isaac Lee. Is it that? I think that's his name. Isaiah Lee. Isaiah Lee, something like that. That player that who scored in that game. They have to deal with that physical presence up front. So that's one. How can we, push back Molina, make him have to play more deep in his defensive third? Like in the second game, when I watch back over that game, we allowed him too much time in that midfield, in our defensive third. And Molina is a player that on his day, he can hurt any team in the CONCACAF. As I said, a journey player who still have a little bit of juice in his legs, them, someone that can have, create a pass out of nowhere. And then you have a player again, another player, journeyman, Jovin Jones, who's scoring goals left, right, and center in the TNT Premier League, that if you give him that opportunity on his left foot, he will definitely do something. And his left foot, I'm saying this, Daniel, Jovin Jones and Kevin Mullin, I think number 3 and number 10 will definitely give us some problem with the set piece tomorrow. You understand? So how can we minimize their number 10 of trying to create damage in our defensive third? Isaac Ian, his experience going to have to count. His experience going to have to, going to have to talk. They're going to have to have a communication.
Isaac, I'm looking forward to see him. I thought that was mood. No, I said that. No, I said Isaac Ian. I'm looking forward to see him tomorrow or him play that midfield role. Knowing that the normal senior players is not gonna be around. So I want to see the leadership of him, organizing the back. And Holgate have performed very poor in the last couple of games that I saw him. It was not good enough. You get what I'm saying? So he needs a good game in these games. You get what I'm saying? Because I feel like Holgate have over the past couple of years with his career, he was when he came up to Everton, he was one of the best youngsters.
Just like Bradford.
You get what I'm saying? And his career went down. But I think that he's gonna be him and Isaac Hayden. I'm looking forward to see the leadership from them tomorrow. The more experienced players and think they're able to guide the youngster around. You get what I'm saying? So I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait. I want to see the new players to see what they have to offer. And
want to see the level of where the local players are. Badman Ketarak, we're not really to pressure the boss. We know him gonna deliver. Him always deliver, just like every time when his back is against the wall. Like I remember even when he signed for West Ham, and nobody really wanted him at the time. Like I know like the top clubs them really wanted him. Ravel, but I'm reading this comment, but I'm just saying that every time when you look at his career, every time when he needs that big performance, he always step up with it. He always follow through with something great. You understand? So I think with him get minutes, we will definitely see something, from Ravel, tomorrow as well. Ravel needs to start every match if he's fit. To be honest, if Ravel did call up from the get-go and getting a London from like Saturday, Sunday, I would probably say, hey, root for him, say, yo, Ravel must start in that game. You understand? Yeah, Travis are going like say local players now. Hey, see you want Travis. Yeah, tell him, man. Big up yourself, Travis. Ravel is the best set piece taker we have. Him accuracy insane. Ravel start from him fitting. Coach, don't be no punk. Rome M90. This is very experienced Trinidad team with Alvin and Jovin Jones and Daniel Phillips, and also Garcia as well. And the keeper, I think Smith. They have a very, and the player name, have a look at India name, Raspadada, something like that. A very experienced player. I think he's in the mix as well. So they have like 7 real experienced players that know what it is to wear the black and red for the Soca Warriors. But they have some young legs that willing to come in and just bite ankle. You understand? So Daniel, this are you. I left that one for you, where Kataraka said Oldgate needs to keep the ball on the ground. I'm leaving this to you.
People, if you've been watching Oldgate and Everton over the years, which people in the comment section, who you think worse with the long ball? Oldgate or Damian Law?
No, go ahead.
At least Damian Law seemingly trying to find somebody, but my God, Oldgate does.
It's the David Moyes. You know what I'm saying? Come up to that in so the David Moyes direct passing and all them shit, brother. So.
I think Steve McLean have to talk to him about that. Stop kick away the ball.
We not have no target player in the squad. No. There's no target player in the squad.
Do you think it's the coach tell him to do that? Because
the coach said to as well, one of the way he wants to break the press is play the ball, play like 10 passes in our defensive third and pull the team towards us and then hit the ball over the top. So that is a part of his coaching method as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, people, we are look for wrap up, but really appreciate, the chat, people. Really appreciate the chat. Flemmo next on the blacklist. Yo, January Star, Danny, and even listen to the interview with the Star, January, Flemmo, Ravel are probably the only, I'm saying it, Ravel are probably the only player we kick outside the box in open play and score. Ravel is that player, man. It's like when it comes down to the danger, it's like in sense of humor, just tripping, like it's time to just be calm. Like when Messi get 1v1 with goalkeeper Daniel, is like that's the best of Lionel Messi. That
I do realize there's a lot of support for Ravel. There's a lot of I didn't know that he have this much support. A lot of people.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe because he haven't been around the team for such a long time, and sometimes people say, "You miss me when I'm gone," because I remember he was getting a lot of criticism when he was there. You get what I'm saying? I know it's like people like want back Ravel in the setup.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a player, Ramsadar, this is a player that I was talking about, that he is going to be a conductor in that midfield. He's the one that's going to get that football and just start to dictate the tempo, be that anchor in that midfield and be the glue with the defensive third and the attacking third. You understand? But Daniel, prediction. Someone said 4-1. I said it will be a 1-0 game tomorrow. It's going to be a tight game. And my prediction lineup is Shaquan Davis, King, centre back, Oldgate, centre back, Dexter, right back, Greg Lay, left back. That's me. I just like Greg Lay at this moment, giving at his farm, at his club. Isaac Hayden, Casey Palmer, and John Russell. Probably more free up Casey Palmer to be a number 10. Didn't really get much time to play there as a number 10 and have two really good midfielders behind him. I will give him that setup, especially John Russell play that 8 as a box to box. Isaac Hayden, as a number 6. Warner Brown to the number 9 position. Kaim, on the right. Cephas on the left, and that's it. That's my 11 right there. That's what I think. But I'll say 1-0 to the Reggae Boys. I think it's going to be a very close game. Very, very close game. Like both teams will get opportunity, and Trinidad team will be dangerous on the counter. You understand? They will give our midfield players a lot of threat, in the channels, especially when we have the players like, Ramsey is getting at football, getting it to Molina when he drop deep, and it's important, like when Molina drop deep, who will be communicate to who that, hey, if he get into this area, this is Isaac, this is supposed to be you. If him get into that era, John Russell, this is your man. If him go too deep, you understand, R is a little bit high, yo, Casey, this are your player. We need to zone it, like we need to zone it so the players can have that understand, like, because you see the thing, he's a one of a kind number 10 that developed in the Caribbean, where you see how he play, you think Kevin Molina was like a South American. He's that skillful of picking up, some acute areas on that football pitch where you think twice. Is that you really want to go out there and challenge him, because if you let him pull you away, that's what he's really good at, to pull the midfield tree or the midfield chemistry for the opponent team. He's very good at that. You understand? I've seen him even did it a lot against our young JPL players. And with him playing on a much smoother surface than what he played on, in Mobile and Anthony Spartan Sports Complex, it will be a better game. It will be lights out for him. So if we can keep the football away from him, I just think that we have chances to to manage the game more and get on the football. But I think Jamaica should have more possession, as I think they will be a little bit more in the transition. But at some point in the game, expect Trinidad to just take over the game and just start put us on the back foot.
Yeah. I'm going with a 2-1 prediction. I think as you said, the game's gonna be tight. Remember, this Jamaica team is a lot of new faces. I don't think they're gonna have a lot of chemistry together. So I don't expect I don't expect it to be flow flowing. So I'm expecting a 2-1 win, not too much, trying to see what's gonna go. I'm trying to see what's Kadim Dixie gonna do and Warner Brown. You get what I'm saying? The younger players, the players from the JPL. I want to see their performance as well. You get what I'm saying? And I'm going at 2-1, a very tight game.
Yeah, very tight game. I'll say 1-0 to the Reggae Boys. But people, I'm really appreciate everybody. Remember, we streaming on the Media House and Daniel Football Show. So, give it a support, both ways. Really appreciate everybody, followed over here. And it was amazing 2 hour with you guys. And we will see you guys sometime this weekend again, Sunday, doing this podcast again, as it is a weekly Sunday podcast, but because it's Memorial Holiday, we have the opportunity to do a live. You understand? So people, let's upon yourself, continue to support the Nick and That podcast. We are here to stay. We are here to deliver. We are here to be on point with Reggae Boys topic. Until next time, people, salute to the locals, salute to the people in the diaspora as well. Massive, massive support from everybody. You understand? And also, just want to just like shout out the Reggae Boy fans. Like, me realize like the people them up from 6 o'clock this morning, bro. The people them up from 6 o'clock this morning, Daniel, and the people must support the channels them from 6 in the morning, go right back. I mean, know more YouTube engine turn on in the space. Ball Pre TV, people look out for Ball Pre TV, look more, King. Also, you don't know King responsible. King are the man that responsible for the show that put the people them to bed. You understand? King.
Football guru. We calling him mad this again. We ask a football guru. What was it?
We live in a never-ending echo chamber. We friend people like us. We follow people like us. We read the news that are on the same political idea, and as us, this means our opinions aren't being stress tested. Football group, bless up yourself, man. Bless up yourself, brother. Are you guys that the coach will start the informed players? Does he really know which player is informed? Maybe he doesn't even see Lee. Me and say probably never see Isaiah Lee perform. Jano, but people, man, there again, man. I just wanna like give my utmost respect to Reggae Boys fans out there that continue to support their friend YouTube channel. Like, look, the fan base is huge locally, in Jamaica, also locally in the Caribbean, also in the diaspora all over. The fan base is just huge, man. I realized that 10% of the Nick and That podcast being watched in Africa, in Ghana. I even know the podcast is in Ghana, bro. Like, it's just crazy. You understand? So the support is just getting bigger and bigger, and we're going into an excited time. The space is happy at this moment. The Reggae Boy fans are happy, especially Ravel Call. It's just a happy time at this moment to support the national team, especially if we can do big things in the Unity Cup. This will only spread, big and better energy, in the space, going into the World Cup qualifier. You understand? So I mean, I'm loving it, people. Look, I'm doing YouTube since 7:30 yesterday, until 3:34 a.m. in the early morning. We have to wake up back again, do my local daily 9 to 5, fall back in, do my local thing, make sure my son gets something to eat, take care of what I need to take care of the house, and then back on YouTube again. So I mean, YouTube is like a job for me, and I love it. And if you ask me if my eyes are bleeding, nah, we love this. We love it, man. And we are keep the space occupied, just as all you guys keeping the space occupied as well. The space is buzzing.
I was gonna say, if we do make it to the World Cup, we do make it to the World Cup, we would love to start having like live streaming the games. That would be something really good. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of work to go, a lot of work to do. Go looking forward.
Like, King, what time is the game in Jamaica? I think the game is 2 p.m. my time. People kept, I think, let me see. King, pin the game. The time. I know the time for me. I think it's 2 p.m. my time. Let me
It's
just
11
double check.
o'clock. It's 11 o'clock my time.
Oh man, you live on the West Coast, brother. 2 p.m. my time tomorrow. So 1 p.m. JA time. 1 p.m. JA time. You understand? Just step in, just step in ballers. Is it really true? The genie let out the bottle and ball of fire. Bless up yourself. As I say, people, just bless up on yourself, man. Continue to support, not just Nick and that podcast, like support like everybody we're doing Record Boy content, because remember, without this, we're not gonna be happy. You understand? 10 years ago, we never have this luxury. No, we have this luxury right on our fingertips. So bless up to the people that who just watch us, listen us on the computer, the phone, the TV. You never know. We're soon to be on the radio. 145 them say all right. 145 them say yeah. But people, bless up on yourself. Remember, Ball Pre TV, look more. Yeah, that are the show always close out the space. Ball Pre TV, look more. You understand that? Expect to start around probably an hour and change. I say hour and 30, hour and 15 minutes, around 10:30. Eastern time. So that would have been like 9:30 Jamaican time. So people, bless up on yourself. Go out there, whatever engine turn on the space, just go out there, go stream it, man. Again, man, until next time.
RPHOL.
Yeah, Youth Oil, man, a farmer Watos player, Jaja. You Oil, be the man. RIP to a legend. Used to play for Umberland, give Arnett Gardner a lot of problem in the past, man. But he's just one of them, a soldier that, Chadan. So I hope him story continue to surface in the ecosystem, and hopefully the younger ones, grow up and still hear about you Oil, a general in that midfield. You understand? Remind me of a player who they describe as Binky player, as that Rasta man in the midfield, like a Zappa playing for Waterhouse. You understand? People, bless upon yourself until next time, man. You don't know we're gonna do this again. Sunday, guys. See you guys 7:30, 6:30 p.m. Jamaican time. We out.